definition of insecurity is uncertainty or anxiety about oneself, lack of confidence, the state of being open to danger or threat, lack of protection. Insecurity is such a big deal and it's such a big problem. I feel like insecurity is one of the reasons why I can let anywhere up to 3 years go by with little to no change. Insecurity is bad because if you put yourself down and you prevent yourself from doing things, life's going to go on anyway, so you have to do something. When it prevents you from doing things that you want to do or you feel like you should do and you don't do it, I feel that it's a crime against yourself and it hurts a lot. Insecurity also has a negative impact on the relations you have with other people. If you're not good enough, you might find yourself hiding in the corners or keeping to yourself. And you never know what kind of benefits you could have from meeting new people. The problem with insecurity is that it's something that goes on in your head, and it's a battle that must be fought alone. That's not to say that you can't find support from external sources, but at the end of the day, you're going to have to put in the effort and the work by yourself, which does make it a lot harder. There's a lot of distractions in life, and when you reach for temporary relief, whether it's through watching television or searching the web, watching online videos, playing phone games, video games, which I have nothing against any of those things. I'm just saying that you can get distracted for anywhere up to a few months to, again, I'll say this again, a few years. I find it very dangerous if you can't keep that in balance. It's hard enough to work on yourself if you're in a good state of mind and you're healthy, but when you're in a bad place mentally and you have to put in even more effort to work on yourself, it seems nearly impossible to take even the first step. You have like little to no strength or little to no will. So I get it. As of right now, one of the insecurities that I'm dealing with is intelligence or IQ. As I'm making this channel, I can't help but compare myself to people that are already making videos publicly and speaking about the same subjects that I am. Well, another thing that is so intimidating is that when I go online and watch videos or listen to podcasts or open up these books, I can't help but acknowledge the fact that some of these people have multiple degrees in different fields that I can't even get a degree in one. In fact, I am a college dropout. So I'm comparing myself to people that have degrees in psychology, philosophy, history, and religion. And it's just really intimidating when I'm trying to contemplate the same thoughts or cover the same subjects as they are. And I wonder if what I have to offer has any value. Comparing myself to others is, it hurts because what has happened is I had convinced myself that it's impossible for me to do something. So when you see someone else doing that very thing, you know that you were wrong and you have to call yourself out on it. And it takes a toll, especially with this channel, because it does mean a lot to me now, this channel. I can't help but raise my own standard and expectations for what I'm doing. And recently it's brought me to this point where I couldn't even write. So I'd put up a question on my IG story a while back, and I had asked, what does insecurity mean to you? I did get 2 responses. One of them was being an attention whore and constantly needing validation and compliments from others to feel good about yourself. Yeah, that's quite a thing to say. I will agree insofar as, yeah, it's kind of weird if a person has to fake their likes or parts of themselves just to be accepted. But as a child, you know, when you're young, you don't know any better. So I did it myself. And I'm not trying to come to the defense of people that do this in their adult life. Well, I don't judge them either. All I have to say is that the intention is innocent enough. And the way I look at it is, it's just a person trying to make an effort to get along with others or connect with others. And if you put it in that sense, it doesn't feel so wrong. Everyone's different, and it's not like we could ever know what's going on in their head or what their past was or why they're doing what they're doing. So it's really easy to judge someone that's not being fake, but going out of their way to do things that they normally wouldn't just to connect with others. And it's really hard to make a statement about that because I don't really know the person that well. But again, to their defense, I do not see a problem with trying to connect with others. I do believe that it is a big deal to have friends and be around people, because the truth of the matter is I've spent a lot of time alone. And I'm getting used to it now. I don't worry about it, but there was a time where it was a problem and it sucked, because when you're alone, you're pretty vulnerable to negative thoughts. And even then, even if you had your head on straight and everything was going good, it's just better to be around people and share life experiences with others. There's nothing wrong with that. I get it. I can't imagine anyone thinking that they're going to spend the rest of their lives not needing anyone else or not caring if they don't. I mean, at the end of the day, it's nearly impossible to imagine that anyone would want to spend the rest of their life alone, you know? With that said, I mean, I feel like that is proof enough that seeking the company of others is just, it's not a big deal. It's natural. I feel like we're riding a thin line here. I don't see a problem with sacrificing a little bit of your pride to get along with other people, because everyone's so different that you have to adjust your approach when you speak to someone. So in some sense, yeah, there are times where maybe you hide parts of yourself that you don't want someone else to know about, just because you don't want to argue or you don't want to be judged. So in the end, I do think we all carefully craft how we present ourselves. And even though it seems fake sometimes, I still don't think it's a bad idea to alter your presentation to someone if you feel that it'll help the interaction go smoother. The other IG response I got was just not good enough for the love of your life. I don't have a direct response to that statement, but I just wanted to share it with you guys. Just to brush real quickly on my relationship history, insecurity and jealousy were the two worst traits that I've ever exhibited. Even in my life in general, they're the two worst things ever. I was such a monster back then because of those two things. To put it all together, if insecurity is a lack of confidence and listening to the negative voice inside your head, and it's turning down compliments or just putting yourself down altogether, it sounds like one of the ways to fight it is to work on yourself. But it's probably one of the hardest things you'll ever have to do. It was for me. I've spent over 5 years working on myself, and I'm still nowhere near perfect and still have so many things wrong with me. But like I said in the beginning, I find it to be a forever battle till the day you die. You'd have to just work on yourself and keep yourself in check and try to make yourself grow. That's how serious things like insecurity or maybe anxiety, depression, all those things are very dangerous. You have to work on yourself so that you can build the strength to combat these things when they come around. It sounds cheesy, but you do have to be brave and strong if you really want to work on yourself and face your demons and face everything that you're doing wrong and try to attack it or work on it one by one. But concerning insecurity, it must be done. That's all I really have to say. I left my email address on my Instagram page if you guys ever want to conversate, or you can DM me too. This conversation doesn't have to end right here, right now. And also, I'm open to listening to what you guys have to say about this crazy stuff I'm talking about.